Welcome to Back to Health, the official podcast of Healing Hands of Manahawkin. Our goal is to inspire and empower you with expert insights, real-life stories, and practical tips to help you take control of your health. Together, we'll explore simple, effective ways to live a healthier, happier life with integrity, sincerity, and the utmost compassion. Let's get started on your journey back to health. All right. Hey, everybody. It's Dr. Nicole Bonner, and we are with Healing Hands of Manahawkin. And I'm so very excited because I want to welcome you to our very first episode of Back to Health. No pun intended, but this is a podcast that I've actually been wanting to do for a few years here in this office. And the purpose of this podcast, as you guys already know, is to simply bring health and wellness information to the community. And so we have our very first guest of Back to Health, and her name is Mrs. Donna Bradley, and Donna is amazing. She's not only a patient of ours in the office, she's also a friend of mine. And today she's coming to you as the Executive National Vice President of Arbonne and an independent consultant of Arbonne. And I think, Donna, the reason why you and I, from the moment that we met, you and I hit it off immediately. And so do you just want to share a little bit about yourself and how you got into the wellness industry? Because you are just as passionate about health and wellness and fitness as I am about health and chiropractic.
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much. It's an honor to be on your podcast, and especially your first one. And again, definitely the moment we met, back in 2019, like there was such a vibe and connection and energy because we are on the same wavelength as far as the books we read, the energy, the especially summer sports. I don't love the winter sports so much, but I don't like cold. But I had been on a wellness journey for years before I met you. And to number one, be able to come to get my adjustments every week with somebody that thinks like me, bounces through life like me and into wellness and the whole picture of the body working together, which it does, which is something that frustrates me about some other aspects of the aspects of healthcare, because our whole body's connected. And as we know, the spinal cord and everything is like so important. And it ties in so well with what I've been teaching with Arbonne. Arbonne's been around for 45 years this month, and I've been a part of them for 22 years this year. And that's how I learned about wellness, which is so important. And it's something that, is now becoming more mainstream because more and more people are becoming aware.
So. Right. How did you get connected with Arbonne?
Well, it's a funny story because I guess I thought I was pretty healthy, but over 20 years ago, I was eating carrots and pretzels for dinner. That's what carbs were in, and people were teaching to eat pasta. But I actually, so I initially found Arbonne back in 2003, and it was more about skincare and makeup. And we used to do classes and presentations teaching people that what you put on your skin matters, that a lot of the soaps, lotions, makeup, skincare, shampoos, conditioners have ingredients that are harmful to your body. And Arbonne, since 1980, our founder, Petter Mork, was a Norwegian man who knew that in the US especially, there were harmful ingredients that were affecting our bodies because the skin is our largest organ. So I found out about Arbonne back then and switched over my soap that I was buying at the store because I didn't do skincare. So but I switched over my products in my shower, the cosmetic graveyard under my bathroom sink, and my makeup to Arbonne. And when I did that, that was how I ended up eventually starting a business. It's not something I thought I would do with Arbonne. I'd been cleaning houses for 18 years, actually inhaling lots of toxic chemicals, making damage to my body. So I had a lot of cleanup to do. So became passionate about that. And then over the years, probably about 10 years ago, Arbonne came out with a nutrition line with, clean nutrition, gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, protein shakes and things like that. So that's when we really got into whole body total wellness, which is because I thought I was once I cleaned up my skincare and body care, I thought, I'm good. Like I thought I was eating healthy, but then I've learned,
Mhm.
because we do have a lot of, professionals in Arbonne. Granted, I was cleaning houses for 18 years before Arbonne, but we do have a lot of holistic doctors and you know, practitioners and nurses and people that are really like, and fitness instructors and even fitness people that use Arbonne in their spaces because they're clean products. So our
Mhm.
initial philosophy was pure, safe, beneficial, which tied into skincare and makeup, and now it's gone over into nutrition. So it's whole body health and wellness inside out, and
Right.
sustainable, healthy living, which is it goes so well with what you teach.
Yeah, gosh, there's so many pieces to what you said that I think are so important. Let's kind of dig through this a little bit because as you were talking, it reminded me of actually my uncle. I had an uncle who was in floor covering for decades and he, laid carpet for decades. And because of like cutting the carpet and breathing in the chemicals in the carpet. So carpet is something that many homes have, maybe not so much now, with the new trends of being hardwood floors and tile, but back when you and I were young, our houses were all carpeted, right? And so there are so many different chemicals. I know one of them is formaldehyde in carpet, for example. And so, it just makes me think of how many people are out there that are doing different jobs and having different occupations that have massive exposure to chemicals. And then the other thing that I was thinking about, and I'd love for you to speak on this a little bit more now that Arbonne has some um, natural nutrition supplementation and things like that, is the government just banned, what is it, red dye 3, was it
Yeah,
red dye 3
yeah.
or red dye 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm waiting for
Mhm.
them to ban red dye 40 because red
Mhm.
dye 40 is terrible for our bodies as well. But, it just seems like so many people are coming into this space of health, wellness, holistic healthcare, being clean and eating clean and just putting clean products on our body. And now finally the government is even coming along. How do you feel about that? What's your stance on that? What were your thoughts?
I'm so excited about that because again, I've learned this a long time ago. And the other thing too is like Arbonne had been around for 23 years before I found them. So like I always say it was like Peter Mork, our founder, the no animal testing, the no mineral oil, petroleum. There's a thing going around on Instagram right now with this guy talking about the petroleum he eats in his and the examples he's eating Lucky Charms and different types of coffee and things that he's eating during the day that's full of petroleum. So initially with our skincare is that, if you're putting mineral oil on your body, that comes from petroleum. Or think about, petroleum jelly. If you start reading labels of what not only what you put in your body, but what you put on your body. And it's like Arbonne was country when country was cool.
Mhm.
Like Arbonne started doing this, like they came to like our founder actually spent from 1975 to 1980, 5 years, because herbs and botanicals had not been stabilized in a skincare formulation. So he went to Switzerland, where the standards are a lot higher, and he spent 5 years creating
Mhm.
formulas for Arbonne, with herbalists and botanists
Mhm.
and chemists, because again, he just believed there was a way. He was a visionary that believed there's a way to create botanically based products that were pure, safe, and beneficial. It has to be the purest ingredients, safe for us. By the way, he's never tested on animals, not even back then, and no
Mhm.
animal byproducts. In fact, Arbonne bans 2,000 ingredients from our product line. We
Oh
don't,
my gosh.
they ban 2,000 ingredients. To give you an example, the European Union bans around 14, 1,500, somewhere in that range. In the US, we ban under 20. Arbonne
Like,
bans 2,000. Yes.
you mean like ingredients that our government allows to be in our food
Yep. In
that we
food,
ingest?
skincare, personal care. Yes. Yes. And that's why I love what's happening now because I learned this over 20 years ago. And again, like where the information, and I know you've been on a wellness journey since you were a kid because I know your story and your mom took you to the man across the street, right? Um so
Right.
but most people, unless you have like a situation or a life situation that you're forced to learn these things, people don't know because it's not out there.
Mhm.
It's just like, why is it so expensive to buy organic or healthier food or food that's not treated with chemicals, right? And
Right.
there's a difference, like whether you buy, organic apples, like I do, like they're not this big, they're this big, it's
Mm-hmm.
the difference. So I'm excited that the truth is coming out and that we can take back the power, in our body.
Mm-hmm.
And I know even me coming to you, and again, I had understood chiropractic care for years and, unfortunately had some issues probably from the way I was born with my leg twisted. That's what I had back surgery before I found you. Um, but for people to understand that the power of the body healing itself is huge. And if you feed it,
Mm-hmm.
right, that's why I love what I get to do with Arbonne is I teach people that, like how to have your skin functioning properly or how to eat healthy foods. I'm not saying we live on our shakes. Sure, we have great protein shakes that taste great, but they're also helping you get a balanced, nutritious, nutrient dense meal in a simple way. But then
Mm-hmm.
we also have tons and tons of recipes of what to make for lunch and what to make for dinner, so that you're eating food that nourishes your body and food that your body can absorb versus the processed foods that are creating inflammation and problems,
Mm-hmm.
in your body.
That was going to be what I was going to ask you, and I hope it doesn't sound ignorant, but with these hundreds of thousands of different toxins that we're allowed to be putting into our body, and most of us are putting them in and on our body. I think we are aware of it, but I don't know if the general public, including myself, kind of has the resources, or I think sometimes people just don't know. Like we're aware that it's happening, but we just don't know what to do about it. Can you talk a little bit about, what some of the health, what are some of the impacts that these harmful toxins have on our health? I'm assuming cancer is one of them. I know cancer is the second leading cause of death of Americans today.
Mhm.
Um, Talk to us about like what are some of the dangers of not making the switch to a product line like Arbonne that's cleaner and healthier and safer.
Okay, so again, we have from the inside and from the outside. So what you're putting on your body, like I said, can have the mineral oil and phthalates and parabens and things like that are in a lot of skincare and shampoos and conditioners. That again, when we think about our skin, so most, especially if you're a woman, like you're washing your face, moisturizer, body wash, lotion, things like that, makeup. So everything you put on your skin matters. So think about Nicoderm patch or birth control patch, what you put on, transdermal absorption is huge, right? So what you put
Yes.
on your skin matters. So, we do have some, Dr. Laura Fortner's an OBGYN. We have some holistic doctors like in Arbonne that are part of our company because they were seeing their patients having health issues, hormone disruptors. It can create some like skincare alone could create a lot of issues. Then when you add the nutrition part, what I learned too with the nutrition is, so sometimes when you see somebody who eats a lot of processed food, the 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 belly fat or the part around the middle is actually our body trying to protect us. So when people are eating a lot of processed foods, our liver gets overtaxed, and so
Mhm.
and a lot of the synthetic food and junk, honestly, it's a foreign substance to our body, and our body heals itself. So what happens is our body encapsulates those foreign substances um, in fat and then surrounds it in water, trying to protect us. And that creates the bloating and the inflammation. So that causes a
Mhm.
lot of problems. And the example I love that you and I have talked about when we first met is like, I've always said to people when I heard your story and we were talking about again the spinal cord, the spinal cord of life and how it goes to everything, the example I've always shared with people once I learned about wellness and how amazing the body is. It's like the example, okay, if we accidentally cut our finger with a knife in the kitchen, um, whether we go get stitches or not, hopefully you won't need that, but if we cut ourselves, our body will actually heal itself, right? I mean, I've had surgery here from skin cancer. That's another whole topic we could talk about. And skin cancer, you have to be really careful, but there are a lot of toxins and a lot of sunscreens that, we thought we were doing something good, but then again, all that was going into our body. But, I have a scar here from having skin cancer, a Mohs surgery. But
Yeah.
sure, they stitched it, but it heals. But even if I don't, it'll heal. So our body has the power to heal if we give it nourishment and the right tools. And that's another thing that I absolutely love. And so with Arbonne, I love that I'm teaching people again that like we can we can eat food from the earth. We can eat food that nourishes our body and our body can absorb and use to help build muscle, to help get healthier, to help get fit, to lose weight, and get rid of the bloat and the inflammation.
Yeah. People ask me all the time, Don, I'm so glad that you brought that up about the body. Like it's fascinating because it's a little bit of a catch-22 where people are always asking me all the time about losing fat or losing belly fat, especially in women. And I just want to circle back around to that and help people to understand that your body is always trying to mend itself. It's always trying to heal itself. It's always trying to protect itself. And when we have toxins come into the body, it does. Donna is absolutely correct. The body, as a protective mechanism, encapsulates the toxin with fat, but the body will not shed the fat because the body needs that protection. It's trying to protect itself from the toxin.
Yes.
And so, if you're watching this podcast and you're wondering why, and a lot of people blame hormones, and there's certainly a hormone there certainly our chemistry and our hormones play a role in how we lose weight and when we lose weight and how quickly we lose weight and things like that. But I do believe that our bodies are being exposed to a ton of toxins, just because we aren't taking these extra steps. And when I say the word we, I'm including myself in this. We aren't taking the extra steps to really pay attention to, what are we putting on our skin. And I think a lot of times, from a layperson's perspective, we take our skin for granted, right? Because it's a protective layer. Like we think of it as a protective layer. We don't think of our skin as being porous. But the truth of the matter is that your skin is actually very porous, and it is absorbing all of those toxins, and the toxins are being deposited directly into the bloodstream,
Mm-hmm.
traveling throughout the entire body, taxing the body. So really, really quite interesting. Can
Mm-hmm.
Donna, can you talk more about can you talk more? Can we go back to the skincare a little bit? I'm like
Yes.
really, I don't know why I'm like really interested in skincare. What was it about Arbonne? I mean, there now in today's day and age, there are a lot of companies out there that are claiming to be more natural and holistic and green and clean. What was it about Arbonne for you that stuck out above the rest?
Okay, so I love this question because people always they throw around the word natural and they throw around
They
like
do.
like when the fat-free potato chips came out. They weren't
Mhm.
healthier, they just had a different ingredient, right? So
Right. Well, even there are potato chips that say natural potato chips. Hers natural potato chips. Are they really natural?
right. And when I started making the protein bars that you and I both love with the Arbonne
Mm.
protein, Wade went to the store and he got me like, now I use almond butter and I make sure it has no palm oil in it. But Wade went and got me like, Skippy Naturals. And then you turn it over and it's either filled with sugar or hydrogenated oils or all those things. But again, to flip it back to the skincare, and there's a couple of things that I'd love to share about that too, is like, so our products are botanically based. We have clinical trials and we test on humans, not people. I mean, not animals. And Arbonne does, testing that to zero reaction, number one, but also one of the biggest questions I get with our skincare, especially because when I started, Arbonne had released the RE9 skincare. It was the only botanically based skincare line out there, and the clinicals were incredible. And they still are. Our clinicals are incredible. We have some updated lines over the past 20 years, obviously, because we find some better ingredients. But one of the best ways I've heard it explained, because the biggest question I would get from people is, oh my gosh, why do I see such a difference? Like sometimes people like they never guess my age right. They always, I mean, I'm almost 58 years old. And so, um,
Really?
yes, yes. And some
That's
people,
so
thank you. But one of the ways I heard one of the doctors who put Arbonne in her practice, she described it as, she said, so just like fruits and vegetables nourish our body, herbs and botanicals nourish our skin. And when we don't have mineral oil so let me talk about mineral oil for a second. Mineral oil, or petroleum jelly or petrolatum that's in those lip balms and everything. So
Mhm.
it's a byproduct of converting crude oil to gas. Costly to dispose of. In other countries, not allowed in a skincare formulation, but in the US, anything goes. If you start reading your labels. And
Mhm.
that's what I did when I found Arbonne. I went to my cosmetic graveyard in my bathroom of all the things that didn't work under my sink. and I went
Mm.
to the local drugstore and department stores. I was never a department store shopper, but I started reading labels. And usually the first or second ingredient had mineral oil. Well, if you look at a bottle of baby oil, whatever brand, it's mineral oil and fragrance. Now, fragrance is a whole other topic. That's tons of chemicals, interacting, which are
Mhm.
very bad. I saw an Instagram post of somebody spraying a leaf of a plant with a perfume and it wilted and just doesn't look like the rest of them.
Oh, no way, really?
Saw that on Instagram yesterday. So, but getting back to what I heard is so again, just like fruits and vegetables nourish our body, herbs and botanicals nourish your skin, especially if you don't have mineral oil, which is like a plastic wrap. It's like putting a saran wrap on your skin. You might have a great nutrient in here, a vitamin A, C, and E or something, but it's not going to get into the skin because of the mineral oil, which creates a barrier. If you're a Manahawkin
Mm.
runner, you can't wear a lotion with mineral oil because your body needs to sweat. It needs to release
Mhm.
toxins. And as our skin exfoliates as we age, that slows down. But that's why baby skin is, white and doesn't have like all the age spots and stuff, but basically as your skin's trying to exfoliate, the dead skin cells can fall back into the pores and create large pores because you have something blocking your skin from functioning.
Mm.
But another great example that to me makes so much sense, especially if you're looking for anti-aging, because we wrinkle around our eyes first because we don't have the same oil glands around our eyes that we do like on the rest of our face, for example. But if you think about what happens if you take a raisin or a prune and you put it in a bowl of water.
Mm.
Back up again, right?
Clumps, yeah.
Right, because the water sinks in, because as we age, our skin thins and we can't hold as much moisture. Our skin doesn't hold as much moisture. And that's why we get the lines and wrinkles. I mean, sun damage, like 90% of aging is from the environment and the sun. Um, so,
Mhm.
um, so wear your hat, wear your, cover up a little bit. But also, so when our products sink into your skin, and we're made up of 70% water. So if you have botanically based products that sink into your skin because you don't have mineral oil and those chemicals in there, they sink into your skin and plump up your skin again.
Oh,
Without,
wow.
yeah. The other thing is the acid mantle is that healthy glow your skin should have. So, and we have a baby line, we have anti-aging, we have men, women, we have all different skincare lines. But basically they're like food for your skin. And for a lot of people, for me, in fact,
Mhm.
somebody asked me recently for my before and after, and I have a picture of how red my skin used to be, probably from, sun damage and the soaps and things that I was using. And
Mm.
what happens is your the redness sometimes can be from the products that you're using. Like the
Mhm.
soap I was using was creating redness and irritation. So my skin transformed just by using the skincare because it doesn't have the chemicals and things in it. And because it's like food for your skin. So
That's amazing. What as you're talking, so as you know, I'm a surfer and I'm a skier. And my lips have a tendency to get really dry in both seasons because I'm out in the elements. And I don't use like lip balm anymore because when I use lip balm, my lips actually chap worse than when I don't use it. Is
and I
that
can tell
why?
you why.
Because it's
That's
like
exactly
creating
why.
that barrier?
Yes. And the petroleum, petroleum is not hydrating at all. It's basically again that coating on your skin. I was the same
Mm.
way. So I used to have those little well-known brands of balm in my
Mm.
purse, in my nightstand, in my car, in the boat, everywhere. And
Mhm.
and I'll never forget, like, because Arbonne has some safe alternatives to lip balms and a newer one that's like in a little tube, like a little angled tube that the ointment comes out, and it's so good for you and it
Right.
makes a difference. But one of my friends, when she got one of our other ones that was like just your little typical lip balm, we still have a vanilla one of those, but without the mineral oil, she's like, your lips don't go like this when you go to do it. It just glides on. But so
Yeah.
yes, so you need to hydrate our skin. And the acid mantle is that as that healthy glow. So Arbonne's products are also pH correct. So, a lot of times, like, for our toners, for example, people are like, oh, I don't need a toner. Well, when we think of toner, we think about like the astringents and things that we used when we were teens that are full of
Oh,
alcohol, and what they do is they strip um,
yeah.
the
Remember
natural
like
oils of
sea
your skin.
breeze?
And yeah, right, sea breeze. So when you strip the natural oils of your skin, your
Mm.
body's so smart. It says, I'm too dry, produce more oil, produce more oil. So one of my
Mm.
friends, who to this day, 21 years later, she's still using Arbonne's products, my friend Karen, and she was like she said, oh, my skin is oily. I said, trust me on this, Karen. I said, I learned a lot about this. And so let your skin adjust to
Mhm.
these skincare line that's going to feed your skin, because what's happening is when you strip the oils, your body's producing more oil. So let it let it start to function properly. And sure enough, here she is, like, she has one of the first accounts with me. She can just shop it. She doesn't, you don't have to build a business. She just has the products delivered to her door at a discount. And she's been
Mhm.
using them for almost 22 years with me.
Wow.
And here is, I don't know if this will show up here, but this is like literally how red my face used to be. And
Oh,
then, yeah.
wow.
And then, and then now, big difference.
Wow. And that was all because of the soap you were using?
Yes. Yeah. Because it can actually irritate your skin. So big difference.
Wow.
How red my face was. So yeah, forever grateful. And again, I don't have a college education, but I feel like I have learned so much about wellness, about nutrition, about skincare, um, about myself, about life, about business. I mean, I've learned so many things because of Arbonne. I've learned, I mean, I used to think carrots and pretzels were a balanced meal, right? I used to think cereal banana is
A
a
lot
milk
of
and
people.
good meal. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I didn't know that the gluten and dairy um
Mhm.
and soy and whey and all those things, I used to eat yogurt every day. That's basically like, dairy and sugar. Sugar, we
Oh,
all know that sugar is it's the enemy to your teeth. My grandfather
yeah.
was a dentist, but it's also it actually feeds cancer. And a lot of the carbs that you
Mhm.
eat just turn right into sugar. So again,
Yeah.
and then the other thing is I love that I learned that it's a lifestyle. Our 30 days to healthy living and beyond is because we're not into crash diets, okay? Like losing weight really fast or doing a diet, number one, is not sustainable, but also when you don't fuel um, your body starts to store the fat, okay? Now, the
Mhm.
intermittent fasting I've recently learned about, and we have a way to help you if you do want a little bit of that, but you still need to fuel your body. You still like
Mhm.
food is fuel or poison.
Right. Oh, guys, write that down. Write that one liner down. Food is fuel or poison. You're right.
Yes.
Tell us about because we have like a 30-minute limit on our podcast today, and I wish we didn't because I'm like so immersed in this and I'm gonna get that Arbonne lip stuff. I need it
You're gonna love it.
desperately.
Yeah.
But a lot of my patients want to hear about weight loss. And I love your philosophy that you don't believe in diets because they're not sustainable. And I'm in a 100% agreement with that. So tell us a little bit about the Arbonne without giving away too many Arbonne secrets. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about the Arbonne weight loss programs.
So the Arbonne program, we have several different shakes that come in different flavors. And our
Okay.
original shake it's pea, rice, and cranberry. So again, there's no soy, there's no whey, there's no dairy. It's vegan, it's gluten free. My niece who has celiacs, uses our protein. And then because there are some people out there that do keto and they don't want any sugar. Now, again, there's a difference between like a green apple or a bowl of strawberries versus a bowl of white processed sugar. That's two different things, but for all intents and
Mhm.
purposes, Arbonne also was like, okay, there are the keto people that don't want any sugar, so they have the simply one protein that has less than 1 gram of sugar. But our sugar in our protein, how it's mixed and combined, and because it's pure natural cane sugar, it's not a bad sugar. Just like sodium can be good for you or it could be bad for you, but you have to understand the difference. So last year or the year before last, Arbonne came out with Essential Meal. So it's pea, rice, cranberry, hemp, quinoa, and avocado oil because we need the healthy fats. Just like your skin has natural oils, your body needs healthy fats. So some people think, well, I don't want to eat anything fat or anything sugar, but your body needs a balance and a variety of food. So what we do with our
Yes.
30 days to healthy living is, our shakes, replace 1 or 2 meals a day. And then we have tons of recipes. If you like vegan chili, some are vegan, some are not, but there's vegan chili. There's plenty of recipes on what to make for dinner. Plus we have, our Arbonne Fizz, which is helps us drink more water. They come in all different flavors. You add it to your water. It's not a carbonated drink, but I drink about 2 of them a day. It it's green tea. It has vitamin B6, B12, helps you give a little more energy without the crash of coffee. So it's great coffee replacement if you want to get off of coffee. So
Mhm.
we basically teach you to really for 30 days cut out the gluten, dairy, alcohol, caffeine, and the things that really aren't serving your body. And then we'll
Mhm.
reintegrate them. But we're not saying you're never going to have pizza again, or you're never going to have coffee again. And some people start off with simple, like I didn't start off cutting everything else out. Like I was like, okay, I can't cut out my coffee. I gotta do my coffee. I have since learned to,
Right.
do it. I live at 80/20, but the point of doing it for 30 days, and we are with you, we do it with you. We have accountability groups. Like I am your one-on-one coach to help you with it. But it's also teaching you that when, let's say you take gluten and dairy out of your diet, and then after 30 days, your body's adjusted to not having it. Then when you put it back, you see what it does to you. And the quick example, I know we're running out of time. When I really did the 30 days, the healthy living for real, and cut out, the things I was supposed to cut out. I went to visit my mom, and she knows I love to snack on pretzels. So she left a bag of pretzels in the back seat, and I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So I ate the little bag of pretzels. Instantly,
Mhm.
the belly just bloated up. Um,
Yeah.
my body wasn't used to gluten. So now I really avoid coffees, sometimes I still do it, sometimes I don't. So it depends. And then Arbonne also came out with a 7-day fresh start, which this is a great way to, with matcha, which is a good coffee replacement, which has MCT oil in it. I actually found out matcha actually helps burn fat. So it helps get rid of this. So incredible. Some stories about people doing that. And I learned how to do intermittent fasting, which I was already doing. I was giving my body at least 12 hours of rest. Now I push it to like 16 hours of rest before I start my first shake of the day. And that has led to flatter tummy. So again, whether you just want to be a little bit healthier, or whether you do want to lose some weight, it's not always about weight loss. It's about learning how to balance your body instead of the yo-yo dieting, which is like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's what a lot of people are doing. I
Mhm.
mean, most of the people that I know are doing this yo-yo thing. It's like they're on a roller coaster and
Mhm.
they start doing really well, so they slack off, they get back to their old habits,
Yes.
then they gain weight again and they're like, "Oh shit, I gotta get
Yep.
back on my diet." And then it's like a back and forth thing.
Yeah.
So, you had mentioned something a minute ago about also being a coach. Like if people talk about that.
Yeah. So when you're doing the Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living, or really any of our products, like your consultant that helps you get connected to Arbonne, and you don't, you can get, there's bundle packages, you can get 1 or 2 items delivered to your door at a discount, and that's fine. But
Okay.
even though you can order on your own and save 20%, we as your consultant are here to help you. So if you're doing the Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living, we have a whole website with recipes and ideas, and we make protein bars. You know about the protein bars we make protein pancakes, we make cookies, we make, gluten-free breads, all kinds of things. So and then like if you have, sometimes it's a goal to lose weight, sometimes it's a goal to just feel better, get rid of the bloat, get some energy. We have a green gut glow drink that helps gives you 36 different fruits and vegetables, some collagen support
Mm,
inside out, and also pre and probiotics, which is the whole other thing. We have a whole thing on gut health. So again, our skin is affected by our gut as well. So that's, again, we could never cram it all into a half an hour. But so, and again, so what we as your consultant will help you and coach you through whatever it is you're looking for. Maybe you just want some better skincare and some healthier makeup. Maybe you want to lose
mm,
weight, or you want to learn how to eat healthier to fuel your body long term. We are with you, holding your hand every step of the way, or just even helping you get access to the products. But some people, if you're doing the 30 days, the healthy living program, we work as a team to help you. And because again, some people are like I was, like, I'm not giving up the coffee, and I'm not giving up my happy hour, and then,
right.
and then after I was like, okay, I can do that. Because again, like, and so I just learned, like, I just, sometimes I'll put a fizz drink in a fancy wine glass because I like the glass. It's not so much what's in the glass. I just like the sound.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have immunity fizz and other things that, this a regular fizz does give you a little bit of energy. So I don't drink them at night. Um,
Right.
I drink them during the day, and they help me drink water. So I'll take the immunity fizz that has helped build immunity, and I'll just put that in wine glass at night with dinner. And it looks like a purple grape juice, but it's not. It's a really healthy alternative. So.
That's awesome. I love that. And I think that is another thing that makes Arbonne stand above the rest because I know, as a chiropractor and being in business for 24 years and helping other chiropractors, accountability is absolutely essential.
Mhm.
I mean, accountability is 90% of it, really,
Yes.
you
And
know.
consistency, accountability and
Consistency.
consistency. Yeah. But you
Yeah.
love what you do, and that shines through in everything you do. And that makes it easier to be consistent. And I love how you have branched out to help other people create an amazing wellness place like Healing Hands is. Like, I look forward to my Wednesdays, and sometimes I get extra days to come there too.
Yeah.
And at my age, and been coming there for years, and I love to explain to people how, like, your spinal cord is like the garden hose of life. And as you think about your garden hose, if you have a kink in it, you're not getting water to water your flowers, right? Well, the same thing with your spinal cord. And I love how you take time to explain things, and you also have other things at the office, and it's just a great vibe, great energy. That's why I love coming there.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to help our community. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this podcast for a really long time, just to really, help the community to be healthier and just give them an avenue of where to go. And speaking of where to go, for those of the people that are watching this podcast, how can they get in touch with you if they want clean anything at this point, right? Clean skincare and clean nutrition, things like that. How can they get in touch with you?
Sure. Well, my website is donnabradley.arbonne.com. I'm also on Instagram as Donna Bradley, but that's a common name, kind of like Mary Smith. So you might want to put Donna Bradley Shipbottom. I would say the Facebook or donnabradley.arbonne.com. And I would also love, Nicole, can I take a picture of us and do a post? I also am on
Yeah,
Instagram. So we can,
yeah.
all right, people need to know. All right, big smile. Because people need to know about this great podcast. And I share information about your practice all the time as well. So this is great that this will be out there. And I'll do a post today. I'm on Instagram. It's so funny. I think I'm Donna Bradley NVP on Instagram because I couldn't get just my name. But on Facebook, I'm Donna Bradley. And yeah, and I'm happy to help. I'm passionate about helping people. And again, as animal lovers, I love that Arbonne, no animal products, no animal byproducts, never tested on animals. So, and also you can find me on Facebook. I do Kitty Cat Wednesday because I volunteer at PetSmart and help kitty cats get adopted every week because
Oh,
I have a very flexible schedule. So
that's awesome. Oh, I love that. I love that. And we'll make sure that we get your name, your website like printed at the end of this as well. So this way you guys can see how to spell Donna's name so you can get in touch with her very easily. But I highly encourage you reach out to Donna, and she's just there's not enough words for me to say how I feel about Donna because she's just such a lovely person. And I hope that this is okay with you, Donna, if I put this out there. But even if you are out there and you just need somebody to chat with to kind of get direction of where to start or where to go with your natural healthcare products, I'm sure Donna would be more than happy to spend 15 minutes on a chat with you and just help you out. That's just the kind of woman she is. So
absolutely. Thank you. Yes, I love helping people. That's why I cleaned houses for 18 years before I found Arbonne, because I like to help people, but I like this better.
yeah.
I want to get away from the toxic chemicals. I one time mixed Tilex and Comet together,
Oh,
burnt my entire windpipe. So yeah,
oh my
I had to get
goodness.
away from the chemicals. I was doing a huge grout floor and it wasn't getting clean enough. So I did vinegar thinking that was composition 0, and I mixed it with bleach.
Oh,
Could not breathe, like choked. Yeah. So
oh my goodness.
those chemicals.
Now I see why you joined the Arbonne team.
Yes. Yeah. Much
All
healthier.
right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for joining us for our very first episode of Back to Health, and we will see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Nicole.
Welcome. Thanks, Donna. Thanks for hanging out with us on Back to Health. We hope today's episode gave you something useful to take away. Remember, your health is in your hands, and small changes can make a big difference. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this podcast with a friend who might need it. We're here for you every step of the way. See you next time.